So today we're going to be talking about the newest opening of the One Piece anime, One Piece anime opening 21, Superpowers by V-Stick. For those wondering, yes, they are the same bands responsible for the Fairy Tail opening Breakout and the Inuyasha opening Change the World. The opening starts off pretty generically with the Straw Hats flying into the camera before we hit the title card. And there really isn't much to talk about here, but what I will praise about this, and it is the first One Piece opening in a really long time where we don't see any of the Straw Hat crew hanging out on the Sunny. Those scenes have become really generic and repetitive, so getting away from that looked really good. However, I do think this has some negative consequences that I will talk about later on. We open with a really nice shot of Luffy running towards the camera and then falling into a mirror in the mirror world, presumably running to fight Katakuri. Then as he falls, we use a mirror to transition into a shot of Big Mom. I particularly enjoy the shot of Big Mom and the way it pans out to show him the Sunny crew standing in front of her. I really like the lightning and dark clouds surrounding them, as well as the fire behind them, which helps add to how desperate the situation is. The shot that follows is absolutely stunning. It's a panning shot around the Thousand Sunny, with giant silhouettes of members of the Big Mom pirates that are hunting the crew imposed over them. We then cut to a shot of Luffy and Katakuri fighting that I don't particularly enjoy. Mainly because while it does look good, the frame rate is really low and it's moving very slowly. There's a lot of parts in this opening where the animation moves very slowly and it just does not match with a hyper-energetic song. We then cut to a sequence where Jinbei and the Straw Hats all show off their abilities. There's really nothing special about this sequence. It looks fine. It's really generic shonen stuff. For me personally, the sequence is helped by the fact that I enjoy the song, so the cool action pieces along with the song works for me. But while I'm not really going to go into it as to avoid spoiling anime only, I feel that the song doesn't really fit the arc. What I liked about Hope was that it really fit the tone of the arc. This song just doesn't. It's a good song to go well with these action sequences, but it does not fit the overall arc. We cut to one of my favorite sequences in the opening. It's more of the Luffy versus Katakuri fight, but it just looks really good and it's really fast paced and it matches the music perfectly. And then we cut to my favorite shot in the entire OP. There's this beautiful shot of Sanji and Pudding falling down as they stare into each other's eyes with the memories that Sanji had of his time with Pudding in the background. It's a really nice, well done piece of foreshadowing for future events in the arc. It also does a great job of conveying the special emotional connection these two characters have with one another. It's just a really nice shot. It immediately stuck out to me while I was watching it as something you typically would not see in a shonen anime from Toei Animation. It seems more like something out of a Bleach or Naruto opening from Studio Parion. It's just a really well thought out shot that isn't something I would expect from Toei Animation. So yeah, this shot is really good. I really like it. And we get to the biggest problem with this opening, which is that nobody had any idea what to do after the 1 minute and 32 second mark. The next shot starts off with members of the Big Mom Pirates running at the screen and the ground erupting in an explosion, and then cutting to a still shot of Beijing. We then cut to another still shot, and this is the only time I will ever compliment the use of a still shot in an opening, because the sequence that follows uses it and it's really cool. Now, what I'm about to mention contains some spoilers for the One Piece manga, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the word manga spoilers on the top of the screen, so just mute the video until the word manga spoilers goes away and you'll be good. We get this like water drop transition across the screen into Sulong Carrot's eye. We then get to see Carrot transform into her Sulong form and her eyes turn red with the full moon as a backdrop. It is absolutely beautiful. The entire thing just looks really good and it's really nice foreshadowing for anime only without actually spoiling anything. We then cut to a shot of the Straw Hat crew walking forward at night and it just really doesn't fit. It, like a lot of parts of the second half of this opening, just feels really out of place and like it would just just there the full time. We then cut to a very short, really well-directed shot of Luffy that is foreshadowing for the Katakuri fight, but my problem with it is that, like the shot before it just feels really out of place. And yes, it is foreshadowing for events that happen later, but it feels really out of place and almost like they needed to fill time, and then they thought of this as an afterthought. We then cut to what confirmed my suspicions, and they had no idea what to do for the second half of this opening, because they literally pulled footage of the Germa 66 from the anime and used it in the opening to drag it out for 10 whole seconds. Super lazy, uninspired, and had no visual direction or anything. It's just there to fill time. It's almost like making an anime opening 2 minutes and 30 seconds is a bad idea. Cut to more Luffy versus Katakuri. I'm sorry, I've read the manga. I can tell you all that Luffy versus Katakuri is a fun, really hype fight, but just cutting to it for the entire opening is really lame and poor direction. It's not like they're cutting to the fight and using the fight to tell a story and using visual storytelling. No, they're just cutting to random action pieces, some of which are just pulled directly from the manga. It's really lame and uninspired, honestly. Then there's just this really ugly, badly directed shot of Zoro just cutting the air with like a green background behind him before using his glass from his sword as a fade effect to fade into a still image of Sanji and Pudding. We then cut to an ugly shot of Usopp and Frankie firing attacks that is really ugly and has a really low frame rate. It looks really bizarre. We then cut to another still image of a manga character that I'm not going to talk about. However, the way she's on the screen floating looks really weird. It almost looks like they took a PNG of her character and put it on top of an anime background. It's a shot that I could make in Photoshop in seconds, and it looks really, really bad. Then cut to a random shot of Robin like snapping some people's neck with her powers, and it looks really out of place, like I've mentioned for a lot of stuff in the second half of this opening. We then cut to more still shots of some of the villains that will be introduced in the arc, and then we see Big Mom with her hair on fire pulling her sword back, but Straw Hat appearing and jumping towards the camera. It almost feels like to me they had a clear idea for stuff they wanted to do for the first like a minute and 30 seconds of this opening, and then they ran out of ideas because a lot of the second half just feels really padded, and some of the visuals are a huge letdown. The parts of this opening that are good are really, really good, but then there's a huge section of it. There's multiple parts that just feel bland and uninspired, and like the people directing it had no idea what they were doing. It feels like there was a vision here for a really good minute and 30 second normal anime opening for One Piece, but they had to make it 2 minutes and 30 seconds, and they just didn't have enough ideas for how to do that. Or they just filled it with a ton of random Luffy vs. Katakuri images and still images of characters, and it just doesn't feel good. It feels bland and uninspired and boring. So do I like this opening? No, I honestly think it kind of sucks. I think there's a good idea in here, and I think there's some good moments, but overall, I think a lot of the opening is bland, uninspired, and kind of just unnecessary. And even some of the parts in the first half that look really good just feel like super generic shonen action shots. But that's also a problem I have with Toei's Dragon Ball Super openings. I just think a lot of the time Toei goes for generic shonen openings instead of trying something new, and that kind of disappointing. So yeah, this opening sucks. But if you guys enjoyed the video, please leave it a like. Tell me what you thought of One Piece opening 21 in the comment section down below. And subscribe for more videos like this one where I talk about anime, manga, and in some cases comic books. And above all else guys, have a great day.